seated. Welcome. My name is Rebecca Monroe, and I'm the Assistant Dean of the MBA program. Welcome to all of you here with us in Bell Hall today, and to those of you joining us via the live internet stream. We are happy to be able to include those family and loved ones that could not be with us on campus today. It is a proud moment to be sitting here. It means that you or a loved one has accomplished something of note. To the parents, partners, and support teams of our graduates, thank you. Your words of encouragement, love, and in some cases, your financial assistance has made this moment possible. For that, we are all truly thankful. To our graduates, as time passes, it is not uncommon to change. In fact, we expect it. For MBA students, phrases like error rate and opportunity cost start to sneak into everyday conversation. And for our PhD students, you may be discussing game theory for fun or describing events in the future as forthcoming. Some of you have been here for 2 years and some for only 1, for our doctoral candidates, much longer than that. And during this time, all of you have changed. The way you approach problems has advanced. The way you think about commerce, cost, and pricing has become sophisticated. And the way in which you think about the impact of business on our physical world as well as our community not only keeps you up at night, it motivates you to make a difference. Your thought process has not simply shifted, it has transformed. Where there was curiosity, there is now engagement, and uncertainty has been replaced by conviction. Today, you celebrate everything you have achieved up until this moment and everything you are capable of achieving in the future. To mark this momentous occasion, I have a wish for you. I hope that earning this degree today is one of those times in life where the vista may look like you have reached the summit, but the best is still yet to come. I hope that you will take on the challenge of business, community, and society with respect for those who resist your ideas, and that you see difficult situations, not in terms of trade-offs, but in terms of finding innovative solutions. This room and this campus is full of people who are proud of you, who believe in your future. We all believe that you have what it takes to wear this regalia and to become truly distinguished in the field of your choosing. You have earned this degree, but you have also earned the right to be a member of the alumni of this notable institution. Tonight, we celebrate your accomplishment, and this celebration is perhaps one of the last that still comes with regalia and proper formalities. Each time you receive a higher degree, your hood gets bigger, your sleeves get longer, and your hat a little better looking. Later in this ceremony, you will be hooded. The hood bears not only the color of your alma mater, but also declares the nature of your degree. And many people think that black is the color of business, but it is not. It's drab. Drab is the velvet swatch on your hood, and it represents business administration, commerce, and accounting. The internet and all of those who contribute to the collective wisdom that is the internet still have not documented why this color represents commerce. So I can only imagine that the process was surely done by committee and not a team of MBA students. For the PhD candidates, blue is used to represent the mastery of the discipline of learning and scholarship. On the stage, you see a sea of colors, and they represent centuries of knowledge and a culmination of many degrees. And they try to share in part that knowledge to you during your time here and after. And I want to take a moment to introduce these grand-looking folks on stage. The faculty who are here tonight represent a fraction of the people who were involved in making tonight possible, and their dedication to you and the school are extraordinary. I will introduce each of them. Please stand for a moment when I call your name. John Chalmers, Associate Professor of Finance. Michael Crook, Avenir Professor of Practice. Larry Dan, Professor Emeritus of Finance. Ya Fong, Decision Sciences Department Head and Associate Professor of Decision Sciences. David Gunther, the Sharp Professor of Accounting. Michelle Henney, Program Manager for the Finance and Securities Analysis Center and Senior Instructor of Accounting. Jennifer Howard Grenville, Associate Professor of Management. Sergio Carrecha, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and the Philip H. Knight Professor of Business. John Hull, the Executive Director of the Business Innovation Institute. Nathan Lilligard, Program Manager for the Lundquist Center for Entrepreneurship. Reut Livna Tarandash, Assistant Professor of Management. Yong Lee, Assistant Professor of Decision Sciences. Steve Matsunaga, the Charles E. Johnson Memorial Professor of Accounting. Steve McKeon, the Assistant Professor of Finance. Andrew Nelson, Assistant Professor of Management. Mike Russo, Lundquist Professor of Sustainable Management. Taryn Stanko, Assistant Professor of Management. Laura Strom, Program Manager for the Center for Sustainable Business Practices. Paul Swangard, Managing Director of the Warsaw Sports Marketing Center. Jim Turborg, Management Department Head and the Carolyn S. Chambers Professor of Management. Andrew Werner, Director of the PhD program. And Doug Wilson, Senior Instructor of Marketing. Thank you. The remaining faculty member and tonight's speaker is Dean Case DeClauver, the James and Shirley Rippey Distinguished Professor and the Dean of the Lundquist College of Business. He is also one of our distinguished alumni from the Oregon MBA, and he will present this evening's keynote.
Thank you, Rebecca. Graduates, parents, guests, members of the faculty and staff, welcome to this very special occasion. Thank you all for the very fine part you've played in getting us to today, and congratulations. As Rebecca mentioned, I have the daunting task of giving what's generally referred to as the message today, something I'm sure you've been looking forward to for a long time and very impatient about. Well, have no fear. I'm absolutely convinced that brevity is a very important asset for speeches, and I will not fail you in this respect. In fact, there's some 45 sentences in this speech, 5 of which you just heard. And if you're wondering, it's going to take me exactly 5 more minutes to deliver the remaining ones. I do want to say a few things, however, and tonight I want to talk about success. I recently read a delightful little book written by David Cottrell, which talks about choices one makes on the road to success. His thesis is that success is ultimately realized by people who A, make more right than wrong choices, and B, who recover more quickly from bad ones. I think he's right. I want you to think about somebody who is very successful and maybe somebody who is not so successful. What differentiates them? Is it brains? Is it luck? Maybe those factors probably play a role. But more likely, the major difference is that successful people make explicit choices that other people avoid or refuse to make. What kind of choices am I thinking about? First, there are some choices that we never see. They're only known to the person who makes them. Let me call them character choices. This category includes the values you adopt along the way, whom you associate with, how committed or passionate you are about being successful, how you deal with issues of integrity, and how you react to the unexpected. Are you the victim, or are you going to say, here's the ball, we'll play it from right here? The second set of choices are more action choices. These are highly visible. This is what you do, not just think about. This is how persistent you are about what you do, the attitude you bring to the game, and how you deal with adversity. Very visible to all, to your friends, to your colleagues. Third, and finally, I would say there's a set of choices that what I would call investment choices. These are choices that you make about replenishing yourself and organizing yourself for success in the long haul. For example, the relationships you form, how you learn from criticism and feedback, how realistic you are about your own strengths and weaknesses, and finally, what you think about shaping your own legacy. I think these are important thoughts. I would also note that making the right choices is both a challenge and a privilege. A challenge because making good choices requires hard work and diligence. The effort is well worth it because bad choices can live with us for a long time. If you want proof of that, have you ever bought a used car that didn't quite live up to your expectations? And you know what I'm talking about. I also want to remind you that making the right choices is a privilege because the ability to make choices is a freedom that we often take for granted. It's no accident that in a free society we punish people by reducing their ability to choose. So, we have explicit choices. Success, probably in a large part, is the accumulated set of choices we make. It requires persistence, and it can be planned for. Some of these choices are seen, some are not seen. We hope that we have helped you make the right decisions in the future, and we hope that you will make the best choices and become the very best in your chosen career. May life's journey bring you the right choices, success, and prosperity. Congratulations, and go Ducks.
Good evening. I too would like to congratulate the class of 2013 for your great accomplishments. We wish you a great deal of success and also that you keep in touch with us. We want to know what's happening in your lives, professional lives and otherwise, and that you will always be part of the college. And come back to visit us, come back and, teach a class, have the reverse pro. There are lots of opportunities now that you are about to become members of the Alumni Association. But tonight I'm here to present two new doctors to this audience. These are outstanding individuals who have spent a great deal of time learning and actually creating new knowledge. And so may I present to you the first person as being Dr. Andrew Earl. Could you stand up, Earl? Andrew's PhD dissertation's title is Explore with Strangers, Exploit with Friends, Organizational Ambidexterity in Networks and Successful Technology Caramelization. That's pretty hard, okay? His main advisor is Professor Mike Russo. Mike, could you please stand up too? And Andrew is about to leave to New England, where he's going to become an assistant professor at the University of New Hampshire. Congratulations. Could Dr. Pei-Wei Xu stand up, please? Her dissertation, titled title was, Do Financial Expert Directors Affect the Incidence of Accrual Management to Meet or Beat Analyst Forecasts? Her main advisor is Professor Steve Matsunaga. Please stand. And Pei Wei is not going to move so far away. She's going only to California, so she can be in close contact with us. She will be an assistant professor at Cal State East Bay in Hayward, in the Bay Area. Now I also have the honor and privilege to introduce the faculty speaker, somebody that you know quite well. In fact, you voted him as being the best professor, second-year professor. You know where he is, okay? And Andrew Nelson seems to appear in this podium very often because this is the fourth time that he has been voted the best second-year professor. Now, you all know how good he is, but there are members of the audience that need to know a little bit more about Andrew. Andrew, areas of expertise lie in commercialization of university research, the economics of innovation and technology, a lot to do with entrepreneurship, and the inter-organizational networks. Now, Andrew is a rising star. He's doing quite well in research as well as in his teaching, as you know quite well. And one of the things that is really impressive is in the past year or two, he was voted one of the 5 inaugural members of the Kaufman Foundation and became a junior fellow and with the idea of being one of the most promising research persons in the field of entrepreneurship. So without much delay, would you come over here, Earl, and address your class?
Thank you, Sergio, for those very kind words. It's a tremendous honor and indeed a great pleasure to address you today. I have to admit that although I'm humbled to receive this award for the 4th time, I have only given an address like this one other time. It was exactly 2 years ago on this podium, and it did not go particularly well. I realize in hindsight that the interpretive dance was perhaps not the best format, and I now understand, thanks to Rebecca's clarification, that the guideline is 5 to 7 minutes and not 57 minutes. So I'm aiming for a better run this time. You've invited me back for a second chance. I know I'm not alone in this auditorium in my enthusiasm for movies like Old School, or perhaps for the more mature among you, 1976's Freaky Friday. There's something inherently appealing about having a chance to revisit middle school or college, but to do it right. Tonight, as you wrap up your second pass through college, and I know I speak for all of your parents and loved ones, please make it your last pass through college. I think it's worth reflecting on what it is that's so appealing about a second chance. I don't think the appeal, at least in most cases, lies in simply doing it again. Parts of middle school, undergrad, and dare I say it, the MBA program were none too pleasant. And there's ample photographic evidence that most of you were not exactly suave, stylish, and sophisticated through most of those years. No, I think the appeal lies in confronting a similar situation, but with new wisdom, new perspective, new confidence, and using it to end up in a new place. In other words, the appeal lies in conquering the world not as an awkward middle school student, or an awkward undergraduate, but as a suave, sophisticated, and obviously stylish MBA student. One of the great gifts you've received as an MBA graduate is a set of tools. Now, you might think these tools are for business, and you would be sort of right, but they're also tools for life. Think back on the topics you've studied: finance, accounting, strategy, negotiations, teams, partnerships, competition, branding, vision, mission statements. The trick is to see that these are not just tools for business, they are tools for life. How will you market yourself? Who's your competition, and how will you differentiate yourself? What's your brand? Who's on your team? Who are your partners? Quick hint on that one, you might look around the auditorium here. What's your mission? What's your vision? How will you accomplish these things? These are the questions that you're now highly qualified to answer for a business, but you're also highly qualified to answer them for life. Those of you who took my class completed a personal business plan, and it's a first step. I'll email it to you if you don't have it. But now that you've done that assignment, there's a second and maybe contradictory lesson. The challenge with most any business plan, and especially a business plan for a startup, like all of you might be, is that we know it's going to be wrong. Symantec started as an artificial intelligence company and only later stumbled into antivirus software. PayPal started as a way to beam cash between Palm PDAs and only later discovered that the market was actually in facilitating online commerce. Kaiser started as a construction company and only later discovered that its real skill was in healthcare. In fact, one of the things we know best about business plans is that they never turn out according to plan. And the same thing is true, of course, in life. For no matter how well you plan, it's probably not going to work. Now, I don't mean that to depress you. In fact, I think it's a good thing. If we all followed through on our visions as kids, according to the latest research on the career aspirations of 6-year-olds, which I did in fact look up, we would right now be in an auditorium filled with train conductors, ballerinas, garbage collectors, and superheroes dressed in green robes and funny-looking hats. Oh. That would actually be pretty cool. But your decision to complete an MBA, or indeed a PhD, shows that you too have learned another lesson, another critical parallel between business and life. The key skill in business and in life does not lie in executing a predetermined plan. Instead, it lies in confronting the unexpected and the unforeseen, and then adjusting accordingly. Perhaps the unexpected will be a new opportunity, a breakthrough, a stroke of good luck. Perhaps the unexpected will be a failure, a stroke of very bad luck. Or perhaps it will be an opportunity cloaked as a failure. Many of you are familiar with the story of 3M Post-it notes. When most chemists were working on super strong adhesives, a chemist at 3M came up with one that barely stuck at all. But in so doing, he sowed the seeds for one of 3M's most successful products ever. Or consider another example. Chemists at Pfizer originally developed Viagra to treat high blood pressure and heart disease. What you know Viagra for was an unwanted side effect. Yes, this may actually be the first commencement address to reflect on lessons from Viagra. But the point is that these successes did not come from their inventors simply executing on their original plan. These successes came because the inventors encountered the unforeseen and they changed their plan. They confronted new realities and they recognized that great challenges can actually be great opportunities. And this brings us back to second chances. Second chances aren't just an opportunity to do it again, but without the crazy hair or the awkward interactions, or in my case, the interpretive dance. No, they're a chance to literally reinvent yourself. So as you walk through those doors behind you in a few moments, with a new degree on your resume, a new set of tools in your head, a new set of relationships surrounding you. Think about where you've come from. Think about where you're going. And be open to the fact that you might not know what lies ahead, but you're well equipped to make the most of it. So to all of you, congratulations, best wishes, and in the words of a certain wise man on the last day of class, be fabulous.
Thank you, Andrew. And now I get to give some awards. But we have one award tonight that's not actually in the program, but that I wanted to recognize anyway. Tonight, I would like to recognize the James H. Warsaw Outstanding MBA in Sports Business, Sho Chang. This is the 5th time this award has been given. And tonight we have a unique situation. Normally, I would now present 2 awards, the Outstanding MBA Student and the Top Academic MBA Student. However, tonight, that recipient is the same for both. And I think it is an understatement to say that Karen Bonner is an exemplary student and person in all respects. Karen, will you please come up to the stage? The Outstanding MBA Student Award goes to the student that was nominated as the most outstanding student in this class. This student holds themselves and others to the highest standards and was instrumental in building community within the Oregon MBA, their cohort, and the University of Oregon, and the community beyond this campus. In the comments that were submitted for the nominations, she was described by many of you, her peers, as an outstanding student and a great leader, very insightful and intelligent, and a friend to all. Karen is certainly a young woman with a world of opportunity in front of her. The Top Academic Student Award is presented to the student who achieved the highest cumulative GPA. And in this program, individual intellect is not enough. Throughout their time here, students are expected to work with one another, as well as members of the business community. These efforts are reflected in their grades, along with their individual work. And the student who receives this honor and truly earned this honor, has proven that they have fully mastered all of the aspects of this training. Part of their reward of that hard work is speaking to you tonight. So Karen, congratulations.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hello. Well, I'm honored to be representing the Oregon MBA class of 2013, and I just want to start by saying a special thank you to all the families and friends who came here to celebrate our graduation with us today. I'm a lucky Eugene native, and my own parents probably traveled less than 3 miles to sit here with us today, but I know that most of my classmates come from other cities, other states, and other countries. So I want to extend a warm welcome to everyone who traveled to be here with us today. Speaking of, travel is one of the reasons that I chose the Oregon MBA, and I don't think that I'm alone. I remember back when I was applying to business schools that looking at the Oregon MBA's marketing materials, there's something emphasized called experiential learning. Frankly, at the time, I wasn't really sure what that meant. But then I started the program, and together with my classmates, we traveled both near and far, from Portland to San Francisco to Singapore and China. On these trips, our official company visits and meetings with eminent business leaders were always fun and informative. My personal favorite was actually going to the Guittard Chocolate Factory in San Francisco, complete with samples. But I think the most important learning came from spending time with classmates. Together, we squeezed 12 people in a van down to Silicon Valley. Closer to home, we rafted the Mackenzie River, we spent time improving parks and local trails, and on our trips, we got caught in rainstorms in Singapore, and we even rode a luge down the Great Wall of China. These experiences brought us together as a class. We're lucky to have an amazingly diverse cohort, and with so many international perspectives, traveling to new cities was always an adventure. These trips took us away from Eugene, but as a native Oregonian, I like to think there's something special about this place. It draws interesting people. I think a common theme here is fearlessness. One of my favorite quotes is, "What would you do if you were not afraid?" And I think my classmates exemplify this type of fearlessness and courage. Some of my closest friends in the program moved halfway across the world to be a part of this class, and I think that takes a special type of adventuresome spirit. My classmates inspired me to stay open-minded about my future. Instead of pursuing a conventional job, I feel extremely lucky to be embarking, along with 3 classmates, Shannon, Kurt, and Jess, on the major adventure of running a company that we actually founded in January as part of our entrepreneurship program. I promised them that I'd tell you it's called Red Duck Foods, and our signature ketchup is available at Market of Choice. Anyway, I'm incredibly excited about what the future may hold, and I never would have believed you if you told me back on that first day of business school that I'd be starting a company, much less a ketchup company. But this open-minded attitude is something I think we've all developed with the encouragement of our faculty, advisors, and each other. I think that truly the atmosphere of collaboration and encouragement is the greatest asset of the Oregon MBA. I'm certain the things that our class will do in the coming years will reflect very positively on the Oregon MBA and the great quality of our faculty, staff, and advisors. Thank you to everyone who made our 2 years here so special.
So now we will hood the graduates. The graduates will be coming up to the stage on the left and exiting on the right. And there's a brief description about the significance of the dress in the back of the program. They will come across the stage and say their name.
Karen Bonner.
Mohammed Al-Khamis from Kuwait. I'd like to thank my lovely mom, my beautiful wife, and my family for coming all the way from Kuwait to join me today. Thank you.
Matt Justice from Wilsonville, Oregon, and I have to thank Taylor's for all the great times, and I'd like to thank my family for all the support.
Jongwaje Im Skim from Korea. Thank you, Annie. I love you. And David, you can do it.
Marcy McCall from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I want to thank my family for all of their love and support.
Sarah Spring from Fort Worth, Texas. I'd like to thank my mom and dad. I wouldn't be here without you, figuratively and literally. And I'd also like to thank my classmates and professors.
Matt Story from Westland, Oregon. I'd like to thank my family and all the friends I've made along the way.
I'm Mavis Yu. I'm from Taiwan, and my family is not here, but I love them, and I want to say that this education and the friendship I made out of this program is going to be invaluable forever in my life, and I love you guys. You.
Kurt Jonathan Barajas. Thank you, everybody.
Andrew Butt from San Diego, California, and I want to thank my parents and my girlfriend Heather for all your unwavering support.
Hi, Dominique Christensen from Larkspur, California. I'd like to thank both of my parents and the lifelong friends I've made in this program this year. Thank you.
Paul Shin Chun from San Francisco, California. It's been awesome.
KJ O'Grady from Rye, New York. I'd like to thank my family for making it out from the East Coast, and my dear friend, Luke Seacombe, for coming all the way from Australia.
Hi, my name is Lindsay Ramirez, and I wanted to thank my husband Danny and my son Javi for being great partners in crime, and to my family and everyone who's given me tons of support and encouragement over the past 2 years. Thanks.
I'm Rob Woltill, and I just want to give a big woohoo!
I'm Joe Wright from Long Beach, California. I want to thank my family, friends, professors, and classmates for making this a great experience.
Amir Abdullati. Thanks. Amir Abdullati, Rancho Cucamonga, California. I'd like to thank my friends and family for all their unwavering support. I'd like to thank the makers of Claritin for helping me get through today. And I'd like to thank Matt Van Wyon's Cavs for inspiring me one step at a time throughout my journey. So.
Hi, I'm Kimberly Agner. I'm from Seattle, Washington, and I just want to thank my family for all their love and support. Thank you.
My name is Elliot Ball. I'm from Coos Bay, Oregon. I want to thank my friends and family, obviously, and also I want to thank my new fiance as of this week.
I'm Shuo Cheng. I'm from Beijing, China. I want to thank my family, friends, classmates, and professors for your support. And it's been a good ride for me. Thank you.
Tony Cresta from Petaluma, California. I'd like to thank all my crazy friends here, as well as my mother, Rena Cresta, for shaping me into who I am today.
Christina Early from Eugene, Oregon, and I'd like to thank my grandma and my dad who are here today for always having my back and being there to support me in achieving my goals.
David Fischel from Denver, Colorado. I want to thank all my family for coming out, and of course my beautiful wife Kirsten for all the love and support.
Hi, I'm Katrina Gallus. I'd like to endlessly thank my family for this experience, especially my father, and who are both here today and back in Toronto. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Jessica Zutz-Hilbert. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware, and I would like to thank my mother and father and brother and my husband who are all here with me today.
I'm Chelsea Hughes from Texas. Thank you to my family for coming out, for your continuous prayers and support and encouragement, and special thanks to Kimberly, who challenges me to dream big every day.
Hi, I'm Mitzi Ing Yonezawa, and I'd like to thank my mom, dad, and brother, and also to my new husband, Yone. Thanks for all your love and support through the years.
Michael Leiden, Bellingham, Massachusetts. Couldn't have done it without you, Atticus. Please stop eating all my underwear.
I'm Matt Maxon from Visalia, California, the greater Fresno area. Just want to thank all my friends and family for all their constant support, and especially my beautiful wife, Samantha.
Dylan Packabush, Anchorage, Alaska. I would like to thank my family that's here and those that cannot be here with us today. And I would also like to thank Olivia for being my backbone for the past 3 years.
Hi, I'm Prashant Parwal from San Jose, California. I'd like to thank my family and especially my wife, Swati, for all her love and support.
I'm Jenny Swaim from Springfield, Ohio, and I just want to thank my family for all their support.
Matt Van Wine from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Just want to thank my family, friends, faculty, especially Paul and Rebecca, for all your help throughout the past 2 years.
My name is Gary Wang from Houston, Texas. I'd like to thank my family, especially my parents and Aunt Jane, and my beautiful girlfriend, Kathy Wynn.
Rachel Whipple from Eugene, Oregon. I want to thank Team Whipple. You guys are my family, but you're also my best friends. So thank you for all your love and support and for always being in my corner.
Jay Young from Vancouver, BC. I'd like to thank my wife, my parents, and the Swangard family for all their support the last 2 years.
Pam Burkle from Portland, and I'd like to
thank my wonderful family and John over there. And I'd also like to thank this fabulous faculty. Thank you so much for this experience. And lastly, to my wonderful teammates in the CSBP, it's been terrific.
My name is Svetan Gatchev, and I'd like to thank all of those who have inspired me to be here. I'd like to thank my family who traveled across the world to be here, my cousin, and all of those close friends and those people in the program. Thank you so much.
I'm Michaela Hicks. Thank you, Mom and Dad. You inspire me. Class, you guys are great. I wouldn't have been here without you. Thanks so much.
Peter Coppert. Thanks, everyone.
I'm Shannon Oliver. I'd like to thank everyone here, the friends, the family, and the faculty. You guys give us courage and inspiration to go chase our crazy dreams. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Blake Scott. I'm from Santa Ynez, California, originally. And I just want to thank my family and particularly my lovely wife, Rachel, who I actually met in grad school here. Your support really means the world to me, so thank you.
Alexandra Velasco from Quito, Ecuador. I want to thank Eugene for the great friends, the great food, and I want to thank my husband. You're still the best teammate out there. Thanks.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm Andrew White. I'm from Hull, Massachusetts. I'd like to thank my family for coming out all the way from Boston, faculty for all the amazing lessons they've given us, and especially the Furcrest family for being a family away from home.
Congratulations, class of 2013. As we close the ceremony tonight, I thank those joining us via the live internet stream for being part of this evening from afar. And I hope that all of you will join us back at Lillis for reception. Will the graduates please stand? I present to you the graduating class of 2013. Congratulations.